Good morning. Good morning. How's everybody doing? 7:36 in Chicago. It is July 28th. What do we got there? We got the war quiet. Very, very, very quiet here. Like crickets. We got crickets coming out of Iran today. Everybody's probably restoring up on their weapons. Okay, that's probably what's going on there. We'll see about that. But crude is doing nothing here, just down by about 1.5%. So a little bit lower here this morning on crude. Not like I said, very very quiet coming out of there. All right, so this is good. We got the diamonds are moving up to the upside, and we got the laggers. Obviously, tech still suffers. Not getting any better anytime soon right now. So we got SPY kind of stuck inside day, and we got Qs and SPYs stuck inside day, and we got day up here on our numbers for diamonds. All right, so I'm a happy man. All right, so we get a little better day here. We got some retail numbers out, and we got some wholesale numbers that just came out. Everything was very much unchanged on wholesale. Imports were down like almost 2.7%. Nothing to really get crazy about, but that is a little bit lower for your imports. All right, so your retail inventory is completely unchanged. So wholesale is about the same as well. So no mix up there. Couple things that we'll look at here. Few names that we were looking at this morning. Royal Caribbean Cruise Lines, as long as we're in that group here. Your discretionaries here. A little better today. I'm sorry, bringing it back in, guys. All right, it's down by $5. Not too much. I believe you're still going to be inside day pretty handily. All right, so Royal Caribbean Cruise Line, coming based out on, war in Iran. Okay, I think that's where that kind of comes from. I didn't check the other guys there. CCL. CCL was up to yesterday to 27.48, trading 27.12 inside. So pretty much the same inside there. And CLH, I don't think it's nothing disastrous by any stretch of the imagination. All right, so those are all going to be inside day, and that group you're going to look at those XYY discretionaries. All right, so discretionaries are moving up here this morning. One of those names I just had right up there was Lululemon moving back up to the upside here. All right, back up. Two up on the week now on a Tuesday, so that's pretty nice coming back up here to start the. We had a nice day yesterday with the gapper up, and it looks like we're holding here and maybe even wanting to get some more right now. All right, so we got 118.37. We're trading right there around that number. All right, so Lulu a little better there. I didn't really go through too many of them. So I'll just go through the ones that are important. McDonald's is getting a little knot today. Had a nice gap up yesterday. Held its gains. It's trading at 274 right now, coming back inside a little bit. 274 is going to take the day up. We're going to get another small little gap up here at McDonald's. So discretionaries, they've been down and out. They've been down and out. All right. We can look at that Starbucks. Looking at Starbucks kind of crapped out yesterday. All right. And back to 105 this morning. So a little higher, moving up 105.36, but you're going to be inside day there. Not too much. 105.68 will get you outside of that day. All right. So Starbucks, McDonald's, Lululemon. What do we got here? What else here? Let's take a look at Ulta. Ulta was nothing done yesterday. All right, let me take a look at that. I'm going to go through a couple names here. I didn't bring this group up. I didn't think I was going to jump into this one right away. But cyclicals, it will be. And I'm not going to go through a whole bunch, but I got a couple here that we can look at this morning. All right, so Couple of popular names that we want to look at here. What do we got here this morning? We'll take a look at Best Buy. All right, Best Buy coming back down here a little bit on that 3 minute. That's a 3 minute, so don't really pay too much attention to that. 88, 89.28 yesterday. You're going to be inside there on that one. Airbnb. I'm not going to go through a bunch from here. All right, Airbnb's a little bit better here. Had to gap up on Monday and 147.20 near the highs. So sitting near yesterday's highs right now, Airbnb looking for the 2-2 back up to finish the job on the weekly, and then you would be starting to look at that month. All right. So Airbnb a little bit better there. It looks like the group is just better this morning here. Kroger, it's also tied in. A lot of these are also tied into the staples, right? So 58.54, 58.90 looking Kroger. Had a nice day yesterday, looking another take a day up. All right. So pretty good. Some of the casinos, I was looking at those. I didn't see too much. I saw that Las Vegas Sands had a gap up day yesterday, and we're at 47.50 here, a little better today. So maybe you get some of these going on. Caesar is it's one on the month here, it's one on the week, and stuck inside here. All right, and not much to talk about on this guy. All right, but Las Vegas Sands was a little better there. Winnie the Pooh. All right, Win had another kind of gap up day yesterday. 100 spot 62. She's going to be back inside day. All right, so XLY. All right, a little better there this morning. All right, and then we look at XLP. Starting to ramp it up here a little bit more now. Really nice day yesterday up with the gap up. All right, we got to get these things back up to the highs, guys. Let's go back up to this 87 and get through this 90. I think that right now the staples are good with the healthcare. I think the healthcare still's got some issues in there, but we'll see about that. Three that I'm looking at today that might make a move there. All right, so when I'm looking at XLP, Coca-Cola going to have earnings. So Coca-Cola had a nice gapper day up yesterday, and it could just give us another one straight up here at 87. That's another gapper up. It had its earnings out today. Coca-Cola is moving to the upside, and this is why your diamonds are moving. You got our staples are moving. We got these health cares are trying to pop up here, kind of a mixed bag still. And then we got to look at the industrials as well. So we'll look at the XLI and then darn old real estates. They won't go away. So XLI had an outside day yesterday. All right, so give me that 322 back up. What do you say? Not showing us too much here on the overnights right now. All right, got up to somewhere around in here on the overnight to about 184. All right, 184, right around yesterday's highs. On that group, what do we look at, man? We look at some of the airlines possibly. JetBlue had a gap up day yesterday, but it kind of gave it up at the end of the day, 550 in there. So maybe not them, maybe just not them yet. All right, but American Airlines had a decent day, 1492. All right, so we'll see if the airlines can get going. Union Pacific had earnings, and Union Pacific was 295. The numbers were good, but the street didn't like them here. All right, but yesterday's highs were 306. It's going to be in there at 302. So you're going to be inside day. All right, you got another one that had good numbers, and the street didn't like it. Was Corning Glass Works. They had good numbers, and they are lower this morning by about 23 bucks, coming back down on Corning Glassware. And as long as we're in that group, Honeywell got a couple of upgrades from a few different broker dealers out there this morning, and coming back right now, it's just taking some profits. But this thing has made that move up to 252 there, made that high on the weekly. Looking for that 2-1 back inside. Pretty strong here on Honeywell. Looking to get back up to 252. And the reason I say that, I think that this thing might be able to get up there quicker than we think. All right, so we'll see watch that one too. I like that one, Honeywell. All right, so your industrials, we know that that's pretty hot. We know that let's take a look at we talked about XLP. Now we'll look at the XLV this morning. Couple of names that are looking good here. We're looking like to take another day up here. But right now we're at 165.50. So yes, another day up on the XLVs. Gonna keep pushing them, guys. Gonna keep pushing them. Today you got Johnny John. Johnny John's better today. Had a nice day yesterday. Got up to 268.96. It's trading at 270, guys. Johnny John looking to take another day up here. All right, Johnny John's been moving. ABBV has been moving here. All right, kind of died out on us yesterday, pooped out. That's all right. That's going to happen. All right, but right now we're back up to 261.83. All right, so 261.83. We're going to be real close to going up to the yesterday's highs. And Gilead is coming back again. I tell you, Gilead, yeah, they got knocked out twice. And you can see it in here in the daily. All right. This thing should get its act together here. Back to 131. Not doing anything right now, but inside. All right. CVS, I think, has really been really good. It's kind of stalled out on the week here, but the month is still good with the 2 up on the month. I'd like to get this week going on here, but this morning, where are we right now? We got up to 107.99. All right, so we're going to be close to yesterday's highs. Let's get this week going, man. And we could go outside on the week here because we have the lower low already. Let's look for that. Let's target for that, right, to 110.68. I like that. I like that. That could possibly happen. All right. Then what else on that healthcare? Pfizer actually been pretty decent. Still stuck inside. You know, this is your day yesterday. You got the outsider. All right, and now you're inside week here. And where are we at right now? 24.92. All right, so 24.92 looks to take 2 up here. Pfizer. I think this one needs to get nudged here, man, because that inside month is not cutting it. You need to start moving that thing back up. All right, and Bristol Myers, another one here. Gave up the week yesterday because it had a weak day yesterday, but here she's right back inside at 63.46. All right, so 63.22 right now. She's looking like she's going to take that day right back up. All right, so Bristol, we'll see on that group. Again, I think XLP and XLV, I think they will continue to move up, but I think that once we start to capitulate to a certain point, I think they might start looking at trying to shore up some of these banks. I think there's a problem with the banks, though, on the valuations. I think there might be too much. I think that, Goldman Sachs being where it is, it just might be pie in the sky. All right. So we'll see what happens with the financials. But as we start to navigate into August, and then we start to go break into September, we're going to see what this quarter's starting to look like. Okay, so once we get through the middle of August, we're going to have a pretty good idea of how the quarters are starting to look like. We'll be halfway through there, or just a little bit less than. So I think then we'll see if things start to show up. Right. So retail numbers today kind of unchanged. I don't expect too much surprises, but I do like these discretionaries this morning. If I get some names during the day that we see that are popping up, we'll put them up there and we'll see what's going on. All right. And then let's go to the futures again and we'll wrap it up here. So SPY, you're just like, not doing anything here, just chopping away like it's been doing. Look at the dailies. It's just been chop, 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 chop. Now, we did break to the downside, um, and it gave us this big outside day. So 745, we're like $6 away from trying to take the day up on SPY. All right. And, you see what we're having here. We're just chopping it, everything up. All right, so SPY, QQQ, same thing. Looking at SanDisk this morning is lower. Micron is lower this morning. Intel is lower this morning. Marvel is lower this morning. What are we looking at? I got Microsoft is kind of a little bit better here. Microsoft has been outperforming, considering that the group has been kind of crappy. No, just crappy. All right, so Microsoft, this one's doing okay. Had the day up yesterday. Now they did puke it out at the end of the day, but here they're right back in there at 395. All right, so they're looking to go up and take that day up on Microsoft. All right, and then we'll look at Nvidia, another one that is like kind of sleeping, dead, sleeping dead. Look at the Nvidia yesterday, 196. Give me that 164. Okay, give me that, and I'll get excited. Google, another one here, stuck inside day pretty handily, not going to get out of there. All right, 330, trading at 327. It's $3 to get back up, $3 and change to get back up and take that day up. All right, so just be patient with this trade. They got to find their way. All right, and we're getting to a point now. They've been down pretty good. We're gonna get. I'm gonna get to the point where it's gonna be starting the time to start picking some of the low-lying fruit. All right, that's what I'm thinking. I like this Intel. I'd like to get it $87 this morning. Now again, coming back down, but going to be cautious with it. These rallies. They seem to always fail. So we're gonna have to wait off on that. On tech, all right, tech is just not going to be great right now. Everybody wants to ask about SpaceX all the time. Well, if you bought it up there, at this point you're probably in there, and you're probably staying in there. All right, I don't see you cutting the trade. A lot of people talking about $80. I don't think that happens. But I mean, it is definitely depressed. Okay, it's definitely depressed from 220. Somebody paid $225.64 for this stock. All right, so be patient with that trade. Be very patient with that trade. All right, I'm going to leave you with one last thing here. All right, Amazon. I like it. It keeps failing on me. I do like it. I like that gap down. I think this gap is going to get filled. And when I say that, I mean just getting back up to here. All right, 238.35. Again, just can't get it going. It gets going, and this happens, and this happens. So your week is down. So the one thing that can tell us that we know can be true is that the week can go outside because we have the lower low, and we could come up and take there. All right, I like it. Here we are down here at 231. We're back up inside. Be patient with these guys. Be patient with these. All right. They're just not ready yet, and we don't want to be the first one to the ball either. All right. So I'm going to leave it there. All right, and we'll see how this day goes. And you definitely will hear from me again today. All right, so everybody just be good. Be good.